next guest is a Jersey girl who made her way to Broadway by playing the incomparable Mimi Marquez in the Broadway show Rent. And then she went on to play Faith Evans in the film Notorious. If that weren't enough, she played Barbara Franklin, Aretha Franklin's mother, in Genius, Aretha.
And today, the Grammy-nominated singer is taking her passion for music and climate change, and she's going to go on an 8-city gospel tour. It's called Climate Revival, the tour, and it's to educate Black faith communities on climate change and environmental justice.
So please join us in welcoming actress, singer, and activist Antonique Smith. There she is.
Looking good.
Good to see you again.
Thank you. Good to see you.
How are you?
For the first time.
Antonique.
Yeah,
Please, have
Thank
a
you.
seat. Have a seat. How are you feeling today?
I'm amazing.
Yeah?
So glad to be here, yes.
You are
great.
like a bright light of sunshine, so thank you.
Thank you.
All the studio lights just dazzling right there, right?
It's very interesting because you are literally taking the gospel to the pulpits.
Yes.
It's called Climate Revival.
Yes.
Please explain what that is.
Climate Revival is my nonprofit. We are mobilizing people of faith and people of color to fight climate change and fight for environmental and climate justice. I mean, Helene, it's climate change.
Sure.
So my amazing bro, Rev Yearwood, is my co-founder, and he just actually was listed as Forbes' top 50 sustainability leaders. He's just phenomenal, yeah. So it's an honor to have him as my co-founder. Wow. But, you know, the right to clean air and the right to clean water is a civil rights issue. And just like in the civil rights movement when Martin Luther King was organizing in churches, they organized the March on Washington in churches. And so that has been missing in the space. And so that is why we felt like Climate Revival was something that was a must do.
Sure. It's a great
You've
name.
been a climate activist for 10 years, a whole decade. What made you take the deep dive?
So I was an activist, but I called myself an artivist because I used my art, which we're still doing with Climate Revival. We're using storytelling, music. I believe that the arts are so important. The word art is in the word heart. And, you know, we have hearts to touch. The reason why I felt like now is like time to take it up a notch is because in those 10 years, I just saw things getting worse. And I felt like if I made my own institution, then I can do things the way I felt like the things that were missing that needed to be done. And I kept seeing new storms with new names every week. The flooding, the food shortages, the droughts, the heat waves, the wildfires. Yes, it goes on and on, honestly. And it's devastating, heartbreaking. People are dying. And I frankly got sick and tired of seeing it, and I just felt like I needed to do more, and that's where Climate Revival was born.
We say on this show all the time, and I think you would agree, that if it doesn't exist, you create it yourself.
Yes.
And I have to think that with so many issues facing everyday Americans, climate change, it like vacillates, because there are some folks who are like, I just want to put food on my table. I can't worry about what Mother Nature is doing. And I assume that's part of why you're taking Climate Revival on tour.
Yes, absolutely, because it's also I think it's a lack of knowledge thing. There's a Bible verse that says, my people perish for a lack of knowledge, and people are literally perishing, like literally dying of cancer and asthma. And so when you think about putting food on the table and the struggle for a lot of families, especially now, to put food on the table, but then fossil fuel companies are getting subsidies and tax breaks, that is actually what's causing climate change. People are not making the connection. We're seeing the storms, we're seeing Mother Nature, and it actually just looks like Mother Nature's tripping, and there's nothing we can do about it. You know, it's like we just got to learn to live with it, and that is actually not the case. We can fight the fossil fuel companies, get the pollution out of our neighborhoods, which also will help climate change, because that same pollution that's giving people cancer and asthma is what is causing climate change.
Cyclical.
It's a gospel tour. Tell us what people can expect.
Oh man, well, people can expect me singing, you know, very revival, like those old, you know, Baptist church songs that I grew up singing, and phenomenal speakers. Like at our launch event, we had Leslie Odom Jr. sing, and we had Time 100 recipient Sharon Levine, who will also be with us on tour.
Oh my gosh.
Our first stop is in Cancer Alley.
Thank you. I had never heard of this. Cancer Alley in Louisiana.
Louisiana. So many people. In fact, most times when I talk about it, people say they've never heard of it. And that is something I feel like is vital to change. Everybody should know that there is an 85-mile stretch of land where it's people people of color. There's more than 200 petrochemical factories in that area, and they have a 95% higher cancer rate. There are so many people with cancer, so many people dying, and it's people of color and poor people. And our communities are considered sacrifice zones. That is the value of our lives to those corporations. Profits over people.
So that's why you're starting there.
That is why I'm starting there. I want to bring so much light to Cancer Alley. We have to change that.
Startling statistic I'll let you comment on. A Yale study showing that only 12% of black adults know what climate justice is.
Yes. So Yale did the study, and they showed that once people found out what climate justice was, 70% wanted to do something about it. So it's not that people don't want to do something about it. They don't know what's going on.
They don't know it's there.
Yeah. They don't know what's happening. So that is literally what we're trying to do. We're trying to get out there and inform people. And after we inform them, we want them to be so inspired that they're ready to act. Like, what can we do?
Right.
And we want to build a movement within a movement, a community that is just going to band together and fix this problem. Save our health and our existence on the planet.
That's
I mean,
right.
we could end up like the dinosaurs, and I don't think
I
that
would not
just
make a good Tyrannosaurus Rex. I tell you that right now. Tell you that right now. Breaking news: she's starting her tour here. You're going to give us a little, little performance later on.
Yes, and actually, I'm literally ending the tour here in Newark, New Jersey on November 3rd. So
there we go.
Everybody can come on out.
Can't wait to hear you sing.
That's
Thank
right.
you so much.
Thank you so much.